The Fascism Question. The Church of Satan does not dictate the politics of its members, and they have always been free to choose whatever suits their personal needs, pragmatism being the guiding factor. Our members generally promote the idea that their nation of residence should move towards a secular, pluralist society in which people are free to participate in any religion or philosophy of choice, and that the adherents of these myriad alternatives agree not to coerce others, either through force or through legislation, of their religiously derived moralities. The mechanism of local politics is employed on the basis of what will bring the most personal benefits to the Satanist and the people and goals he cherishes. Those outside of the Church of Satan have, from its inception, accused it of all manner of politics: communism, fascism, anarchism, liberalism, conservatism, and just about anything else you can think of, all of which are mutually exclusive. What is clear is that journalists who have an axe to grind against the Church of Satan have accused it of advocating a political system which is one they personally abhor, thus casting the Church of Satan in the role of devil for them in whatever arena of human thought they wish to explore. In the 1960s, the radical left preached a philosophy of peace and love, which really boiled down to the concept of leveling everything to being equal. This philosophy championed the abandoning of rational criteria for evaluation of anything and the embracing of everything as being of equal value, thus fostering mediocrity on every level of human endeavor. We are still living in the fallout of this mode of thinking, as the people who espoused these ideas when young have grown to adulthood and are now the establishment, those adults whom they considered to be the enemy during the 60s. This egalitarianism has manifested in cultural domains with concepts such as anything can be defined as being art. All such works must be considered to have equal validity. Thus, some random splashes on a canvas were considered an equal achievement to the Sistine Chapel. A mud hut was held up as being equivalent to Versailles. A janitor was dubbed the equivalent to a physicist. A novelist was now the peer of one who scrawled graffiti on a bathroom wall. This principle of indiscrimination was applied to all other fields of achievement. Those who opposed this leveling were accused of being fascists or Nazis, without regard for what these terms might have meant in their actual historical origins and practice. After all, it was the mid-60s, 20 years after the ending of a war that most of these folks weren't even alive to have experienced. How quickly past orthodoxies are forgotten. The Church of Satan was created in 1966 and stood in contradistinction to these ideas, which were generally defined as being liberal. From the time of the very foundation of the organization, Anton LaVey and the members of the Church of Satan were appalled at this ideology, which preached that any kind of merit was illusory, and thus that the act of evaluation was an evil practice. Discrimination became a bad word, when previously it had denoted sound judgment. Well, the Church of Satan never shied away from embracing things that society considered evil, and thus it championed a rebirth of strict criteria for evaluation of all areas of human endeavor, and quite radically placed the responsibility for this squarely on the shoulders of each individual. There was no appeal to authority in Satanism, since each person had the responsibility for being his own authority. For this reason, we were then called fascists and Nazis, not because of any advocacy of the socio-political ends of these historical movements. The masses today still don't know what the terms Nazi and fascist really mean in their original sense. These words are now used as epithets against anyone with whom they don't agree. Most frequently, they are employed by politically correct intellectuals in the same manner that Joe McCarthy used the word communist and the Christian inquisitors used the word witch to discredit the validity of the accused's point of view and brand them a heretic or thought criminal. Because of the continuing decline in the level of education, even amongst those who pursue degrees at major universities, we can expect that there will be no broad understanding of what the terms Nazi and fascist really mean now and for some time to come. These will simply remain vain derogatory designations used against those perceived to be the bad guys.